Hey, what's up guys? It's Motoxiety, and today I'm riding Drew's '07 Gixxer 1000. This is an absolute beast of a motorcycle, so I decided today was the perfect day to talk to you guys about how I started on a 2022 Honda Grom and have gone from that to being able to ride something like this. So for those of you who have seen my previous videos, you know I started my motorcycle journey on a 2022 Honda Grom, which means I didn't start riding all too long ago. It was just a few years ago that I first started riding. Originally, I had zero plans to get into motorcycling as much as I am now. I had kind of just bought the Grom on a whim, decided that I wanted to learn how to ride. I wanted a new challenge for myself, but in the back of my mind, I was like, I'll never need anything more powerful than this. I'll never want to ride anything more powerful than this. Motorcycling is dangerous. Why would I want to get something bigger? I'll just stick with this, have fun with it, and when I'm done with it, I'll eventually sell it. But it really was just a challenge to myself to learn how to ride a motorcycle, get into riding a little bit, but nothing more than that. I had no plans to eventually have a YouTube channel. I had no plans to get bigger bikes than a Grom. And it's kind of just spiraled from getting that Grom into something that I'm absolutely in love with. So I learned a lot from the Grom. It was honestly a great first bike for me. There was a lot of things that I was worried about when I purchased that bike that there was a lot of stigmas around riding that I had heard, that people had told me. And there was some stuff that I had in my head that I was concerned about. I was concerned about getting a big bike and whiskey throttling. I was concerned about getting a big bike and dropping it, not being able to pick it up. There was things that people had told me that I knew nothing about and didn't know whether or not I'd be able to handle it. So when I saw, when I did some research and I saw the Honda Grom, I saw what it was priced at, I saw the size of it, I was like, this thing looks like fun, looks like a good way to get into riding without being too dangerous, so I decided to pick one up. Knowing what I know now, I definitely could have started on a bigger bike, probably like a 3 or a 400, but I'm glad I did start on the Grom because it gave me just that little extra boost of confidence that I needed to build my skills. So one of the things I really struggled with when I first started to learn how to ride on the Grom was speed. I would drive that thing around so slowly and so carefully. I honestly probably didn't break 40 miles an hour like the first 2 or 3 weeks of owning the bike. I would drive it around my neighborhood back and forth, that kind of thing, take it to people's houses. And, I was really, really just nervous about getting up to speed on the bike. It felt so bizarre being on this tiny two-wheeled vehicle that I had no protection on, that it was a strange feeling, and it took a while for me to get used to. Because I was struggling so much with speed, I decided that I was going to turn to YouTube for help. I found people like Lolly and Doodle on a Motorcycle and Killa Cam, Brian636, Chase on Two Wheels. So many motorcycle loving enthusiasts that took the time to talk about their love of motorcycles, how they got better, things they did to practice, that really helped me out and got me to understand that I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was just anxious and I had fears about certain things that I really just needed to take the time to work on and get better at, and things would get better. Once I broke that 40 mile per hour barrier though, that's when things kind of took off for me, and where I realized that I really enjoy riding and it's something that I was falling in love with. And I decided in that moment that, one, I wanted a bigger bike, and two, I needed to get a motorcycle license. Yeah, I probably should have done that from the beginning, but it was something that I was nervous about. I wanted to make sure that I knew at least the core basic skills of riding first before I rode in front of anyone else. It's stupid, and I probably shouldn't have felt that way, because when I did take the MSF course, everyone there was super accepting and in the same boat as me. They had never touched a bike before. But in my head at that time, I couldn't stand the thought of embarrassing myself in front of other people. And I think that's totally normal. I think there's a lot of people out there that feel the same way. But I just want to let you guys know that that is how I felt going into it, and you don't have to feel that way, because the MSF course was one of the best things that ever happened to me. I enjoyed it so much. It was so much fun, and everyone there was so accepting. So yeah, after I got comfortable with the Grom, I ended up taking my MSF course. I passed it, I got my license, and really just kept riding the bike around, building up my skills. There was a couple things that I struggled with after I got speed down. One of them was definitely cornering. Going around corners at faster speeds, I definitely struggled with a little bit, and I needed to build more confidence around that. So I would work on it in parking lots and stuff like that. I would do like slow speed stuff that I learned at the MSF course, and then I would build up to some faster stuff and just keep doing it over and over again until I felt comfortable to go back out on the road. One of the things I realized though, after getting my license and working on some of the skills that I was struggling with, was the biggest thing that was holding me back was the Grom. I was using it like a crutch, and I needed to upgrade to something bigger. And that's exactly what I did. I went out and I purchased myself a bigger bike after doing a little bit of research. During that time, a lot of my friends had been riding dirt bikes, and I wanted to get into riding dirt bikes as well. So I went out and I bought myself a KLX 300 Dual Sport. Now, I didn't really know anything about riding dirt bikes or what went into it, and I had never done anything like that before. So on the day I bought the bike and brought it home, I went out for my first ride with my buddies, and unfortunately, I was in an accident with the motorcycle. It took a while for me to recover from that accident, and I definitely had fears in my mind about getting on a bike again. But during that time period that I was down and recovering, I turned to YouTube again, and I watched a lot of creators talk about being in similar situations and how they recovered from it, how they learned from their mistakes, and it really pushed me to get back on a bike again when I recovered. I'm really glad I did, because I ended up purchasing the Ninja 400, which was a phenomenal bike for me. The Grom was great, but honestly, the Ninja 400 was probably where I should have started, because it gave me a lot of confidence on the bike. The way that it moved, the way that I felt on it, it just worked for me and helped a lot of things in my brain to click. I understood cornering better and a lot of the things that I was struggling with at that time. Granted, I have YouTube to thank for that as well. A lot of the people on that platform helped me out tremendously throughout the couple of months that I was learning that new bike. And that's one of the reasons that I decided to start my own channel. YouTube has been so helpful and such a great platform for me to feel comfortable in this space and for me to learn how to ride. I wanted to be able to share that experience with you guys and give back to the community that gave to me in such an amazing way. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below on what bike you first started on, how many bikes you've had, and what your experiences were getting into the motorcycle community. I really love interacting with you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video and it helps you in some way, shape, or form. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.